Hello, my name is Chloe Mitchell, and I'm a sophomore at UNCG. I had the opportunity to partake in the Silver Leadership Challenge due to my membership in the UNCG Teacher Education Fellows Program. As a fellow, I had Dr. Jennifer Stevens as my Silver Leadership Coach. The following presentation, titled Through Learning Eyes, reflects on my experience through the Silver Leadership Challenge and the knowledge I gained as a result. A major part of the challenge is goal setting, and the process an individual takes to achieve their goals. Over the past year, I have set a variety of attainable goals in an effort to improve myself on a personal and a professional level. Many of these goals were short-term in nature, but they were made with the purpose of turning into beneficial habits. One such goal being the use of weekly and daily to-do lists. After my first session with Dr. Stevens, we were able to identify my use of said lists and modify them to assist me in task completion and time management in an effort to decrease the chance of feeling overwhelmed. After setting my goals and working towards achieving them, I was reminded of a few key details. The first being that goals can change over time, meaning that they are adaptable and not concrete. For instance, the stay-at-home order disrupted most individuals' daily lives. This shift in routine caused my goal of integrating to-do lists to evolve. My list now became much longer and addressed more than just my class load due to my needs changing. Another significant factor to note would be how the path to achieving a goal is not linear. There will be moments that are much easier than others because that is how life works. There are highs and there are lows. You just have to persevere and be confident in your abilities. When considering my growth in terms of leadership, two factors are to be taken into account. This would be how leadership is present in both personal and professional relationships. In terms of my personal betterment, I would say that I have gained confidence in myself over the past year, and I've become more secure in my opinions and values. This ties into leadership, seeing as a higher level of self-confidence in who I am allows me to be more present in my conversations with friends and family. As a result, I overthink less, and I am better able to actively listen and communicate. Regarding my professional leadership, I have also been able to better get to know myself, which has assisted me in my job and in my role within the Fellows Leadership Council, where I am one of 2 representatives for my cohort. The sessions I had with Dr. Stevens and the time I spent for professional development have reminded me to be conscientious and taught me to keep learning. These 2 factors are crucial to good leadership because a good leader is observant of those they are working with and also the events transpiring around them. This is especially applicable to my future in education, seeing as an educator needs to be able to meet the needs of their students, which can only be done if they are perceptive and they take the necessary steps to help their students. As a result, continuing to learn comes into play, seeing as the world is not only changing, but so is the present body of knowledge. The more informed you are, the better you can lead. I have had the chance to work with Newcomer School for multiple years, and I was excited to learn that my internship would be at the school. Newcomers is a truly wonderful school that allows newly immigrated children a year to improve their English while also receiving an education and acclimating to the new culture they are faced with. The smaller class sizes allow for a more one-on-one experience and demonstrate the sense of community within the school. As soon as I walked into the classroom, I noticed how the students and teachers try their best to not let the language barrier heed their progress. Instead, peers step up to support one another and they work together to solve the task at hand. Being in this environment has allowed me to gain invaluable experience as a future educator, seeing as I have seen the environment firsthand and have been able to work with the children despite the language barrier. While in the classroom, I noticed that I began to pick up on body language more and relied more on the community within the classroom when issues arose. My experience within the Newcomer School has made me more culturally informed, bettered my communication skills, and has led me to decide that I want to one day earn my master's in education with a concentration in teaching English as a second language. One of my favorite questions is, what is your why? This can be a straightforward answer for some, and a more complicated for others. However, I have an idea of how I would answer it. My why, or the motivation behind my actions and opinions, would be my students, others, and myself. Each child deserves to grow up in an equitable and equal environment. We as a society are not there yet, but it is their right to an inclusionary and tolerant future that motivates me to keep learning and to work towards that goal. I do this by asking questions, having needed conversations, and challenging pre-existing ideas that may act as an obstacle. This is also why I include others in my why. Others is in reference to those around me and to those I do not know. They are just as deserving as children to a better society than what we currently possess. Everyone deserves a better and more inclusive future. The last piece of my why is myself. It sounds odd to say, but I have to remember to also prioritize myself. I often overlook my own stressors to focus on others. As a result, including myself in my why reminds me that I am also working to achieve a better future for myself and to make sure that I am also happy. Moving forward, I plan on continuing to involve myself in the community through volunteering and internships within the education system, since that is where my passion lies. I will also make a conscious effort to self-reflect on my leadership skills within the personal and professional spheres of my life. To do this, I will need to keep an open mind if I want to be able to better identify areas in which I can improve. This will be a lifelong process, but it is one that I am more than willing to partake in, since I strive to become a better person than I was yesterday, by learning from the actions I take and the information I receive. That is why I would like to conclude with a quote from C.S. Lewis that I find holds a necessary truth. He writes, "Experience is a brutal teacher, but you learn. My God, do you learn." With that, thank you for listening, and I wish you the best of luck with your endeavors.